So I should really be cleaning my room. But instead, I'm gonna post a YouTube video. Um, so the last video I talked about was about Trump and kind of like how he's had our country become more divisive, and how we should really be coming together more now than ever. And I think that just kind of seeing where we're at in the last like 120 days or last 110 days, wherever we're at right now, it's kind of scary. He's taken away healthcare. He's tried to put up a Muslim ban. He's, thought that Frederick Douglass is still alive. And I'm not making this video to be snarky, really, I'm not. It's so that people can understand what is really happening, right, in our country. We talk about freedom, we talk about liberty, we talk about equality, and yet we have somebody in the White House who has shown none of those traits, who clearly doesn't give a shit about what happens to the little person, to the little guy. And it's a very scary time to be in right now. It's just kind of like, who do we go to? How do we make a revolution? How do we change things? And that's been my biggest question, I think, throughout his presidency, at least up until this point. Because if this is what he's done within only like 5 months of his presidency, then what else could he do in 4 years? He's been seen congratulating other despots and other just people who are out to look for themselves. I look over at France and I'm so elated by the fact that they got it right and they voted for Macron. And it's just really cool to see that people are still fighting for their rights. At the end of the day, there are more of us than there are of him. And if we can all band together and all just really be on the same page and fighting for the same cause, which isn't even, it's not a gay thing, it's not a woman thing, it's not a black thing, it's not a Mexican thing, it's not any one thing. It's a human being thing. Like, okay, for instance, I'm taken back to World War II, and when Hitler decided to bomb Pearl Harbor, it became, it wasn't even Hitler, it was the Japanese. And so because of that, we decided to put our Japanese in internment camps. And they weren't called internment camps, right? They were called, I don't remember what they were called, but they were separated, they were segregated, and they were ostracized because of something that another country did to us. And, if it can happen once, obviously it can happen again. I'm just saying we have to be really, really careful right now about where we let this country go. You have Trump over here talking about how the media is fake and how, all they do is spew lies and talk shit and I don't know what. But really, he's just angry at them because they're telling the truth. They could do it with a little less snark, but it's just truth. And we've got to pay attention. Maybe take them with a grain of salt too. And just because Donald Trump is over here, like, spewing all these lies, doesn't mean that we can right away, doesn't mean that we can just right away write him off, right? Because he's still saying stuff. And there's still people around the world that are paying attention to what he's saying. And so we have to keep one eye on him, one eye on the media, and one eye on the truth. Because somewhere in the middle, it's there. And so I'm just saying we've got to be really, really diligent in what it is that we're searching for when we're looking for the truth. Because it's there. And guys, you can't just ignore this. There's something big brewing. You know, there's something that is going to happen that will completely shock people if you're not paying attention right now to what's happening. Guys, you got to be there in the middle of it. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not important. Don't let anybody tell you that this is normal. Don't let anybody tell you that you're okay. Because at the end of the day, if my neighbor can have her rights taken away, then so can I. And that's not okay. And even if my rights aren't being taken away, I'm just as guilty as the one taking their rights away if I'm not doing something about it. If I see something wrong happening and I'm not fighting for it, then that makes me just as guilty, guys. And trust me, this YouTube video, I know it's not enough. And I know that I gotta do more than just this. And I'm hoping to find other people that are like-minded that will fight with me and that will help me to figure out how to fight, how to get this cause going, guys. We can do more than we think. Trust me. I know. Because we all have so much more potential. And somebody had to start it, right? It's every great revolution started with one great voice. And I'm not saying my voice is that great voice. I'm just hoping that someone can help me find it. Because I want to be a part of the revolution. I don't want to be a part of the problem.